Hello, I'm Troy, and recently I watched the entire Conjuring Universe for the first time. So today I'm gonna review and rank each movie on a tier list, and then review the franchise altogether. But I'm not gonna be using a normal S through F or whatever it is tier list. We're doing numbers instead of letters, because I never really liked the letters if I'm honest. Each movie will be ranked starting with 5 at the top, followed by 4.5, and then 4, and then so on, all the way until we get to 0. So, yeah, that's how we're doing our rating system. Also, for anyone that cares, I didn't watch The Curse of La Llorona. Yeah, Father What's-His-Name and the Annabelle doll are in it, but it doesn't concern the Warrens, and it doesn't concern the artifact room, so as far as I'm concerned, it's not important to the franchise, and therefore not important to the video. So, while that movie is clearly on this tier list as a part of the franchise, I'm going to ignore that because I don't care. Okay, that's all. So without further ado, here is what I think about the Conjuring Universe. Alright, so starting up, we're going in release order, we have the first Conjuring movie. I liked this one. It was pretty good. It wasn't like scary per se, like as scary as I would expect a horror movie to be, but it wasn't bad. It had its good moments, and I definitely was very invested in the Warrens and their little corner of the supernatural whatever. It was pretty entertaining, and I liked how it used traditional horror movie tropes. Jump scares, doors creaking, the creepy poltergeist person hanging up top, I liked how it used the tropes, but I wish it was actually more horrifying and not just terrifying. In my watch through previous video I posted, at the end of that video, I gave it a 2.5, but upon writing this and getting ready for this video, I realized it's more of a 3. It's not really a 2.5, belongs in a 3. It doesn't feel, I don't know, a 3 feels right. It's not like best movie ever or approaching best movie ever, but it's a step above mid. As far as I'm concerned, 2.5 is kind of mid territory, but it's yeah. Anyway, that 3 feels right. 3 for the first Conjuring movie feels right. Okay, anyway, moving on. Annabelle. This one started off strong, but it drags after the initial plot setup. It was too predictable, it wasn't scary, the characters were forgettable, I couldn't remember their names most of the time, and I couldn't tell you them now. Except for Evelyn. Evelyn's the one character I remember because the ending of it was just dumb. Like, the ending of Evelyn sacrificing herself to the demon instead of the main white lady sacrificing herself to the demon was just, it was stupid. And it was lazy writing, and it made 0 sense. And it just, the movie was over, and I was like, what? That's it? That's how you're, okay. That's how it ends. Alrighty then. The best part of the whole movie, the highlight of the movie was when the main couple, when their next door neighbors get killed by their daughter. And that happens within the first 10 minutes of the movie, if even. It's the initial catalyst of everything that sets off the events that make this movie happen. That scene was very intense and it was intriguing, but beyond that, I didn't really give a shit. This one goes at a 1.5. It's not a good movie. I don't recommend watching it. Next up, The Conjuring 2. Okay, I liked this one. Bill Wilkins was scary as fuck. Also, all the Valak Easter eggs, when it was on the bookshelf and whatever was in the background, I spotted all of those right away. I had no idea that they had anything to do with anything. They were just there, and I was like, why the fuck is that there? Why does it say Valak? What is Valak? And then when they made it clear that, the plot point to guess, once you know the demon's true name, then you can send them back, I was like, oh, it's gonna be Valak. And then it was. So it was like, yay, I solved the mystery, but also I solved the mystery. So when they revealed it, I didn't really care that much. But it did also make it fun at the same time. It was weird, because I could see it from a mile away, and I like figuring things out in movies early on. But yeah, this one, it was good characters, had a good story. I liked it a little bit more than the first one, but not by much. The craziest thing about this movie is the fact that the mother in real life, because all these Conjuring movies, they always end with what happened in real life if it was a real case and all that. And this one said that the mother died in the same chair that was in the same spot that Bill Wilkins died in. And that's just crazy to think, because after everything that happened, she It's one thing to never move out of the house, okay, valid, but she never got rid of the chair? After she found out some dude died in it, she went and died in it herself? That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so Conjuring 2, that's gonna go next to the first one at 3, because it's some good shit. Annabelle Creation. This one was pretty good, and it felt like this is what the first Annabelle movie should have been. The characters were interesting, and the story was really engaging. And while it wasn't horrifying, it was scary in a way that The Conjuring wasn't, and the first Annabelle movie definitely wasn't. And it made me care about the main character, Janice. Plus, the reveal that the disabled girl, Janice, grows up to become the daughter of the next door neighbors that killed the couple from the first Annabelle movie. Like, that's my favorite scene from that movie, and the rest of it was ass. And the fact that they brought it back around to, even though that movie was ass, they still didn't run away from it being canon to the overall story of Annabelle, which I think is okay. I kind of fuck with that. So, yeah, it's actually, like, this is a rare, Annabelle Creation is a rare sequel that is actually better than the first one by a mile. It's so weird. It's so weird that that's the truth. But, like, honestly, like, we put the first Annabelle at 1.5. This one is good enough to go at 2.5 in my opinion. It went a whole number up. It's worth it. All right, next, The Nun. I saw this one in 2018 back when it first came out because I was working at a movie theater and I could see it for free and I was like, why the hell not? So I saw it then, but I hadn't seen any of the other Conjuring movies before watching that. So I didn't really understand how it connected or anything. And also with that movie being out of context from the other ones, I didn't really like it that much. But this second time around, having more of the understanding of the Conjuring universe, I liked it a little bit more. It wasn't phenomenal and wasn't scary and wasn't really based on a true story either. So I was just like, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was the first time around, but it didn't redeem it. I like Sister Irene though. She's a good character. She's fun. But The Nun, that's going to go right next to Annabelle. That's at a 1.5. Yeah, it's about as unfulfilling as that first Annabelle movie. I'll say that. Next one, Annabelle Comes Home. Okay. This one, first off, I was waiting for a movie centered around Judy for this whole franchise ever since they introduced her in that first Conjuring. So I was excited to find out that this one was a Judy-centric story. But the reason it had to happen, fuck you, Daniela. Why you have to touch everything? I understand you're grieving, and I get that. But you were in a stranger's house, touching up on their haunted ass shit, just to fucking let Judy and her babysitter be, you annoying ass. Anyway, I enjoyed it. Little self-contained haunted house horror movie with all the artifact room coming to life. Good shit. I thought it was fun. It was definitely, well, it's called Annabelle Comes Home. It was more of a Judy story rather than an Annabelle story. But like I said, I was waiting for a Judy story, so I wasn't complaining. I thought it was fun. It was a good time. I like this one. So Annabelle Comes Home, that's going to go right next to Annabelle Creation with that 2.5. It was a good time. Not as good as the original Conjuring movies, but it's good shit. I enjoy it. Next up, The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. It's not terrible, but I liked the first two more. This one felt different. Apparently it's a different director, might even be different writers. I don't know. But this one definitely felt different from the first two. And that wasn't a bad thing. It felt a little off. But also the story was predictable. And then like the main victims of the demon or whatever was happening, I didn't really care about them. It didn't really bother me. I just found myself mainly caring about the Warrens and Ed having heart problems and all that shit. The witch mystery was interesting for a second, but then it just became predictable in how they went about finding where she was and all of that. And then the way they defeated her by just destroying the altar was just dumb. It's like the way to defeat this witch is to destroy her Lego set is so fucking boring. I don't care. As far as the Ed and Lorraine story of it all, loved that. Always here for that. But the rest of it was just kind of weak compared to the other two. This one, Conjuring the Devil Made Me Do That? Conjuring the Devil Made Me Do It? That's a 2. It's better than, Yeah, that's a 2. That feels right. Okay, next up, The Nun 2. Boring. Also predictable. The added lore of St. Lucy's eyes and Sister Irene being her descendant was, I don't care. That didn't make sense. That just felt forced upon to make her have special powers, which, like, it didn't even matter because Valak still took the eyes anyway. Also, another thing that frustrates me about the whole Nun franchise, we learn about Valak in the second Conjuring movie, and then they defeat Valak in the second Conjuring movie. And then we get 2 Nun movies about Valak origin story on how it's just like clearly they never will defeat Valak because the Warrens do. And that's we already saw that. So there's like no stakes. It's just watching how Valak gets away this time. And I don't care. I don't care. They also defeat Valak in the same way they did in the first one by using the blood of Christ, except they just turn wine into blood. But then they don't even defeat it because Frenchie still has the demon in him and he has to go to the US to then get the demon out of him from the Warrens, which is the vision that Lorraine has, which is... It's fucking dumb. It's fucking dumb. It's a 1. It's a 1. It's not the worst dog shit ever. It could be worse. But I'm not fucking pressing play on that shit again. And then the one that came out this year, The Conjuring Last Rites. This one, finally some fucking good shit. It was like they were like, okay, we got to bring this back to roots. Plus they knew that this one would be the last one, I'm guessing, with older Lorraine and Ed. Also, we got another Judy story. She's older in this one, clearly taken up after her mother, taking her mother's footsteps or whatever the hell. I don't know. Following in the footsteps of her mother. That's what I'm trying to say. This one was easily better than The Devil Made Me Do It, and it was on par with how good the first 2 were. Ed's heart condition being a big focus of the story in this one, and like the stakes and all that, it had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. And then the fact that like I gave a shit about Judy and she's like the main target this whole movie. How are they gonna defeat the mirror? And it was great. It was a good time. This one's a solid 3. Goes back up there with the first one. Or first 2. First 1, first 2. Yeah, altogether, if we were to average out all of this shit with some math, that's what average means. But yeah, so if we average out all the scores that I gave these movies, we get a 2.2 about. It's like 2.2 repeating, and that doesn't fit with my 0.5 scale. So I'm just going to say 2.5 out of 5 for the Conjuring universe as a whole so far. Because apparently they're making a prequel with younger Ed and Lorraine, which like I'm here for. That could be interesting. They said in Last Rites that they had over 3,000 cases. And they even had a younger Ed and Lorraine in that one too. Like it could work. It could work. But yeah, this franchise gets a 2.5 out of 5. That feels right to me. If they hadn't fumbled that first Annabelle movie and then had made the Nun movies about Valak come out before we see Valak get defeated by the Warrens, like that would have made a lot more sense. But the rest of them were a good time. I enjoyed them. I did care about Ed and Lorraine and Judy, and even though the Nun movies were ass, I did care about Sister Irene, which is good for being invested in the story, but that's about it. These movies weren't really scary. They weren't horrifying. They were just jump scares and creaking doors and random bits of makeup and then like power of Christ compels you and then roll credits. I just hope that when they do those spin-offs that they actually make them scary. Although the first Conjuring movie came out in 2013 and it is 2025 and they're still barely scary. So maybe if the filmmakers will actually make something scary with those, maybe the franchise score could go up from a 2.5, but I doubt they will though. It's fucking Hollywood, and it's 2025. Anyway, that's it. If you like this video, leave a like. If you want to subscribe, feel like subscribing. I have such a small channel and I'm still figuring out what it is that I'm doing with it. So if you just want to watch as I try out different things to figure out stuff that works for me, that's cool. Come join the yoRt. If you have like a suggestion for another franchise I should watch and review and whatever, that'd be fun. Cause I want to watch some stuff. I like movies. I like watching things that I haven't seen before. Okay, that's all. I'll see you guys in the next one. Like and subscribe. Bye. Hello, I'm Troy, and I recently watched. Hello, Hi, I'm Troy, and Hi. Fucking shit. This sucks. I hate this. Okay. Damn, I'm a thirsty boy. Okay. It doesn't drop down super low to be like terrible. Fuck the light. Ah.